My topic is alternative marketing and detail explain, and let's go to the topic and let's go to the start. Alternative marketing involves finding and creating programs that are smart and imaginative. Finding new places where consumers can interact with a brand, then creating the ultimate attention-getting marketing messages. Traditional marketing is considered to be marketing campaigns based on mass media such as radio, TV, and print. But as the market becomes oversaturated with advertisements, marketers have begun looking for alternative ways to reach consumers. Gone are the days of traditional marketing and advertising strategies. Sharing campaigns across radio, TV, and print has become nearly obsolete, and there is no guessing as to why. We live in a digital world, and it's a crowded one. With social platforms and search rankings becoming ever more competitive, it is critical for marketers and advertisers alike to find alternative avenues to reach consumers and stand out from the crowd. Cue the birth of alternative marketing. By definition, these strategies stray from traditional practices in hopes of cutting through the noise to help businesses reach their desired consumer base. There are many creative ways to reach consumers, so let's lay a foundation for what alternative marketing is and how it can help your business. If you plug in alternative marketing into Google, you find many underwhelming definitions of buzz, guerrilla, lifestyle, experimental, and product marketing. These 5 terms live happily under the umbrella of alternative marketing. But what do they mean? There are countless ways to approach and subsequently implement these practices. Alternative marketing is about doing the things that won't necessarily scale, but can make a significant impact on results. This could involve sending handwritten notes or even forming creative brand collaborations. In a nutshell, if everybody is doing one thing, alternative marketers do the opposite. The main distinction is that it requires doing things differently, which can often be seen as risky and is why most brands won't do it. This involves finding new methods, means and places to reach consumers where it matters. Then speaking to them in a way which moves them and inspires them to take action. Traditional marketing and advertising are generally campaigns based on mass media across digital, radio, TV, and print. The idea is to cast the net far and wide to reach as many people as possible. The emphasis is on scaling as fast as possible. But as markets become more saturated, marketers have begun looking for alternative ways to reach consumers. Whether this is through unique and alternative business strategies or unique approaches to their marketing. The fact is, most people are just sick of seeing generic and boring adverts everywhere they look. Especially when you consider almost 50% of the entire US population was said to have used some form of an ad blocker in 2019 alone. Alternative marketing strategies are low-cost ways to target specific neighborhoods, age groups, ethnic communities, or low-literacy families with special cancer messages. Such strategies include the use of low-cost flyers, posters, payroll stuffers, and program announcements scattered throughout a community to deliver a message. Ideally, these alternative strategies can also be used to complement traditional media efforts. Alternative marketing ideas. When distributing a marketing piece, always remember to focus the content of your message and where it will placed on the characteristics of the community you want to reach. In ALEC, that community is rural, older, and medically underserved. In order to reach those families, consider the following list of ideas to place your message. Grocery and prescription bags, don't forget the food pantry. Church bulletins. Paycheck envelopes or employee mailboxes. Local newspapers, including free ones. Craft store flyers. Community newsletters, YWCA, Lions, Elk, Grange, CES, etc. Post offices or libraries, as bookmarks. Pharmacies, eye doctors, chiropractors. Craft stores, banks, beauty parlors. Senior and community centers. Placemats or table tents at local restaurants, or the senior center. Milk carton messages. Bumper stickers. Creating an alternative marketing piece. When creating a marketing piece, remember the community you are trying to. Regardless of whether you are producing a health message or program announcement, The message needs to be communicated clearly and simply in the language of the listener. This means don't bother with fancy scientific words or formal language if you want the message read or heard by a rural older audience. Here are some ideas to simplify your announcements. Keep the sentences short. Words should have a minimum of 3 syllables. If you use pictures, keep them relevant to the message. Use the coalition logo. Include date, time, and contact phone numbers so individuals with questions can find you. Alternative advertising places your brand's message in non-traditional locations, such as parking meters and bathrooms. Rather than relying on billboards or public transit, alternative advertising seeks out less common media to reach your target audience. Alternative advertising can give you a distinct advantage over your competitors, exposing your company to new audiences in new places. With alternative advertising, creativity is rewarded, giving you the opportunity to make a memorable impression that can lead to a conversation. When looking for alternative marketing strategies and methods, videos shouldn't be underestimated. Thanks to tools like Video Ask and Loom, it's now easier than ever to start truly connecting with your audience. And whilst video in itself is nothing new, tools like these allow you to connect in a more personal and meaningful way. Instead of just posting generic videos on your social media channels, try sending the occasional personalized video greeting to one of your existing customers. Maybe even a new prospect you've been wanting to get on board. Alternative marketing is defined by our textbook as the use of buzz, word of mouth, and lifestyle messages at times when consumers are relaxing and enjoying hobbies and events. Developing these programs require creativity and imagination. Marketers have to strategize to find new points of contact for consumers and prepare attention-getting, exciting messages for those contact points. There are several different methods of alternative marketing. Sending personalized images in emails. To expand on this strategy, personalized images can be a great way to cut through the noise and stand out, especially when doing email marketing. Nifty Images is a great free tool you can use for creating personalized images at scale. It effectively pulls the first name of your contacts from your email autoresponder or CRM. It will then place that on any image you want. Here's an example below using another tool called Lemlist. The person in the image is basically holding 2 blank coffee cups. But the tool will take the first name from your CRM and place it on the image in handwritten font, allowing you to send personalized images to a large audience. If you're in B2B, you'll also want to check out our blog on 7 unique and powerful B2B marketing strategies where we build on this in more detail. The problem we all have as marketers and business owners is that almost everybody these days is doing the same thing. Tweeting, posting, and talking about how bloom and wonderful they are. As a result, people have become very receptive to typical online marketing strategies. This means they'll more than likely scroll past your content without a second glance. This is why companies like Impact are able to achieve incredible results for their clients. They do this by creating beautiful handwritten mail campaigns directly to their customers or prospects. Why does it work? Because it's both different and meaningful. The underpinnings of all successful alternative marketing strategies. The best part about companies like Impact, you don't even have to write a thing. Just let them know the message you want to send. Their team will handwrite your letter on quality paper. They can even put a wax seal on the envelope if you're feeling super fancy. Talk about an alternative marketing method. But here's the thing. In a world already hugely devoid of connection, it can often feel like nobody has time for each other anymore. So even just the sentiment alone, of somebody receiving a handwritten letter can really help you to stand out in a truly memorable way. You'll even find some people are so blown away by the novelty and thought behind it. They even post about it and share it with friends without being asked. I recently came across a post like this on LinkedIn that got over 200,000 views and was shared hundreds of times. The crazy thing is, it was posted by the recipient, not the company. When you can get your customers to do the marketing for you, without asking, you know you're onto a winner. Because after all, people won't remember what you do. Strategic partnerships and brand collaborations. Too often, we can get caught up in our own little bubble trying to fight off the competition. However, when you can begin to turn your competitors into your collaborators, something really special happens. New opportunities open up, new leads start coming in, you'll gain new insights, and most importantly, you'll start to realize what makes your business truly unique instead of just being made into another commodity business forced to compete on price alone. Start thinking about some of your competitors or even other types of businesses that are serving the same industries and customers as you. How could you create a mutual arrangement that's going to be beneficial to both of you? A great question to ask yourself here is this: who is my customers before they come to me? For example, a new pet food store could potentially partner with a local vet and offer them some discount vouchers to hand out to their clients after they come in. There are also great opportunities for guest blogging, podcast appearances, and video interviews, all resulting in some brilliant and valuable content pieces too. This can be an absolute game changer, especially when looking for genuine alternative marketing methods or just to run a much leaner operation. And hey, if you're interested in partnering with us for anything, we're always open to chat. Feel free to drop us a line. Podcasting, an online event. If you're looking for a good alternative marketing channel to promote your business, then listen up. Starting a podcast is a great way to start establishing yourself as an authority in your industry and begin building an audience. With over 30% of the entire U.S. population regularly consuming audio or podcast content, it's easy to see why there's huge potential here. On top of the potential to increase brand awareness and build an audience, podcasting has also been cited by many as one of their top revenue streams and lead sources for their business, with advertising revenue growing year on year. There are literally thousands of podcasts in just about every niche and industry you could imagine who are desperate for guests and people to interview. Another unique marketing strategy similar to podcasting is to speak at or host online events. With virtual events rising in popularity after the lockdown, this can be a great way to build authority in your industry and gain free exposure for your brand. Not to mention, getting free backlinks, which in turn leads to boosting your SEO and organic presence. Matchmaker is a great website that allows you to register as a potential guest for podcasters to consider. Growing online groups and communities. You may think this only applies to influencers or solopreneurs, but you'd be wrong. Creating a community is one of the most effective ways of being recognized as an expert or thought leader within the industry you serve. In fact, one of our clients created an entrepreneurial group on LinkedIn which has over 85,000 members to date and is growing by 100 members each day. Imagine having 100 of your potential customers wanting to join your own private community each and every day. It's also important to note that when I say utilizing groups and building communities here, I'm not talking about creating a group just to invite people and spam it with your sales pitch. I'm talking about creating an ecosystem where people can support each other. A place where you can establish yourself or your brand as thought leaders in your industry. This will allow you to create an environment where your potential customers can thrive, with or without you. When you stop trying to sell people and instead put the focus on supporting them and delivering value, amazing things can happen. You'll find people will end up chasing you for business instead of it being the other way around. After all, that's why you're marketing in the first place, right? Hootsuite has a great resource here on growing your own Facebook group or community. The best alternative marketing strategy is your own. Hopefully, that's given you a few unique alternative marketing ideas to get you started. As you can probably tell though, the best alternative marketing strategies are the ones that you create. Those unique, quirky and standout ideas that really separate you from the competition. Alternative market, a term commonly used in risk financing to refer to one of a number of risk funding techniques, for example, self-insurance, captive, or facilities, for example, ACE, XL, that provide coverages or services outside the realm of that provided by most traditional property casualty, P&C, insurers. The alternative market may be utilized by large corporations, for example, to provide high limits of coverage over a large self-insured retention, SIR, or by smaller entities participating in a risk retention group, RRG, or group captive program. Note that the distinction between traditional and alternative markets tends to blur over time as many traditional insurers expand their offering of products to encompass alternative-type funding techniques and vice versa. Also, retrospective rating plans, especially paid loss plans, are sometimes identified with the alternative market. Easy to use and understand reference explaining the various funding options for your organization's risks. Explains reinsurance, alternative markets, and tax and accounting implications of various risk financing mechanisms. Excellent resource for state-specific regulations. The digital landscape is defined by constant change. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. For instance, keyword stuffing was an effective SEO tactic in the early 2000s, but now it will get your website penalized. Buying backlinks, too, was once an easy way to game the system, but now it can result in your site being blacklisted. Even paid ads have shifted in recent years, as consumers have turned to ad blockers in droves. With change comes opportunity, though. As the landscape evolves, new marketing tactics emerge. The key to marketing success is finding these blue oceans of opportunity, places where there is little to no competition. In contrast, techniques like link building and pay-per-click are now red oceans full of sharks fighting for a limited number of customers. So, what are some alternative marketing tactics to consider? Here are 6 possibilities. Machine learning-powered marketing. Even old-school marketers rely on data to make decisions. For instance, a TV advertiser might track how many viewers saw their ad and then use that data to improve the next round of ads, or a newspaper might track which stories are most popular with readers and adjust their content strategy accordingly. But this sort of ad hoc data collection and analysis is no longer enough. To stay ahead of the competition, you need to be using AI-powered marketing tools. These tools can help you track and analyze customer behaviors in real time, identify trends before they happen and personalize message for maximum impact. While we're nowhere near fully automated marketing, AI-powered marketing tools are becoming more and more accessible. For instance, MailChimp's AI Creative Assistant tool helps you design emails with greater engagement, while Hootsuite's Insights tool uses machine learning to help you track your social media performance. Further, HubSpot AI uses predictive intelligence to help you deduplicate data, enrich your CRM and more. Voice search optimization. It's estimated that over 40% of all Americans use voice search features. That's a huge number, and businesses need to start optimizing their websites for voice search if they want to be found. Voice search is different from traditional text search because people use different keywords when speaking than when typing. For instance, someone might say, "What's the best Italian restaurant in town?" when doing a voice search, but they would type Italian restaurants into a text search engine. To optimize for voice search, businesses need to focus on long-tail keywords, highly specific phrases that are more likely to be used in conversation. They also need to make sure their website content is easy to understand and digestible, as people will likely be searching while they're on the go. Interactive content. Bill Gates once famously said, "Content is king," referring to the importance of high-quality content in attracting an audience. Consumers are interested in truly valuable content that helps them learn something new or solve a problem, and they turn to search engines to find it. Interactive content takes this a step further by engaging the reader and holding their attention. Examples include quizzes, infographics, assessments and calculators. This type of content is shareable and promotes virality, which can help attract new readers and customers. Taking that step has become easier than ever, too, as there are now a number of platforms that allow businesses to create and host interactive content with no programming required. Conversational marketing. In the old days of marketing, businesses would blast out one-way messages to a large audience in the hopes that a few people would take notice. This strategy is no longer effective, as consumers are now inundated with marketing messages and have learned to tune them out. Conversational marketing is a more personal and effective approach. Instead of speaking at people, businesses now need to listen and engage in two-way conversation. This can be done through chatbots, social media and even over the phone. The goal is to build relationships with potential customers and create a dialogue that leads to a sale. This type of marketing requires more effort than traditional methods, but it's worth it. Consumers are more likely to do business with companies they feel they know and trust. What once took extensive technical knowledge and a team of developers can now be done with a few clicks using platforms like Drift, Intercom, and HubSpot. These platforms make it easy to create chatbots and manage conversations. User-generated content. One of the best ways to build trust with potential customers is to let them hear from other customers. User-generated content, UGC, is any type of content, text, images, videos, etc. that has been created by users and not by the business. This type of content carries a lot of weight because it's seen as more genuine and trustworthy than traditional marketing messages. And it's easy to see why. When someone hears about a great experience from a friend or family member, they're more likely to believe it than if they saw the same thing in an ad. There are a number of ways businesses can encourage UGC. Social media contests, for instance, are a great way to get users to create and share content. Another tactic is to offer incentives, like discounts or free products, in exchange for UGC. This can tie into interactive content, too. For instance, a business could create a quiz about its product and offer a discount to users who share it on social media. There are endless possibilities. The key is to be creative and think outside the box. New ad channels. The likes of Facebook, Google, and Instagram have become the go-to places for paid advertising. But as more businesses jump on the bandwagon, the competition gets fierce, and costs start to rise. To stay ahead of the curve, businesses need to be on the lookout for new ad channels. This could mean advertising on newer social media platforms, like TikTok and Quora, or exploring options outside of social media altogether. Traditional channels like television and radio are still effective, but they can be expensive. Alternative options include podcasts, streaming services, and even billboards. The key is to think outside the box and consider all the possibilities. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe the channel.